Okay, so let me start. Welcome everyone to grants. Each school can receive up to 10,000 euro for implementation of their dedicated activities. So as you can see also on the slide, you can see the timeline of the open call, but I will get into details with a specific dates just on the next slides. So what do you need to know before applying to the third open call? First of all, I will guide you through the objectives. I will also tell you a little bit who or which school is eligible and what is important before and during the application process. So first of all, I would like to say the most important thing is that this open call is the third open call, which is implemented by SHORE and is the last one. So it means that we are not going to, so this is the last chance or the last opportunity for schools to apply for a grant and apply for implementation of the Blue project. We are running our call. We just started it. We started it at the end of April, and the application process or the application can be submitted until the 30th of June of 2025 at 5 CET sharp. So just take into consideration that the time is also very important here. I would already recommend you to submit your application earlier than the deadline. The sooner the better, because the sooner you submit your application, the sooner you finish it within the system, is going to be also taken into consideration while we are going to prepare the ranking to fund the schools, because this is also one important rule of the ranking. Our budget for the third open call is around 365,000 euro, which means that we can fund up or around 40 schools with a maximum budget of 10,000. You can obviously apply for less, but the maximum you cannot exceed your budget of 10,000 euro maximum. The project can be implemented for 6 months, and the main objective is to support the students of primary and secondary school to allow them to lead the projects expanding and being dedicated to the ocean water literacy and contribute to the European network of blue schools by applying for certification for the school. What does SHORE Open Call 3 offer for the schools? First of all, the Open Call offer grant, which is up to 10,000 euro for Blue School project. We also offer a mentorship and guidance, which means that every single funded project will get a support from the individual mentor from the country hub, which are the SHORE also consortium partners and regional experts, to help you to implement the project within what is written in the proposal. And this mentorship and this guidance is actually a very reasonable offer to have a person who will coach you or who will guide you through the 6 months of the implementation of your project. Also, we offer a promotion or the communication, not only through the SHORE project website that we are going to introduce to the public about the funded Blue project, but also through the SHORE digital platforms, which already is very visible and has a lot of registered people there. At the end of the open call, we are always run a competition for schools, and school may also win an Ocean Ambassador of the Year award. The SHORE Open Call timeline. So on the slide, you can see the details of how we are going to run our open call. So as I said, the call is open. So the platform, the F6S platform, is open for submission of application, and it will be open until the 30th of June. After 5 CET, we are going to close the system, so nobody will be able to submit the proposal after the 5 CET. And immediately from the next days, we are going to start next phase, which is the evaluation, and eligibility check, and also the selection of the proposals. And we hope and we would like to provide you with the ranking and also provide you the results in September. So after the summer period, in September, we are going to contact the schools which has been chosen for the from the third open call, and we are going to start the contracting phase. And we wish that the project will start or they will be implemented for 6 months, starting in October, and they will finish at the end of March 2026. What is important also to know about the open call is that we have five main topics on which each blue project should be implemented. So we have created five topics for you, so we can already choose them at the beginning. What will be the major leitmotif of the project? So we can choose from five main topics, which and each of them have also a subtopic. We have sea-based activities. We have also a topic dedicated to the biodiversity, where you can focus your activities on biodiversity in waters, in oceans, but also migration of species and any topic which will be related to the biodiversity. Also, we have hazardous substances and marine litter, climate change, but also sustainable use of water resources. What is obligatory? To choose one topic for your activities. The main one. You can always also choose the additional one, but also you will have also an option to choose the subtopic. What can be implemented during the project? We have a list, close list actually, of activities. So starting from workshops, meetings, trainings, but also field trips, local expeditions, visit to the laboratories, but also conferences and trips to the museum. This list is fixed. It means that we have up to, I think, less than 20 fixed activities. So you can choose your activities for students from this list. What is important for you to know? That you should have minimum three different activities in order to apply for short grant, chosen from this already set up list. So while we're going to go through the application, you already will see that you can choose the activities which are already dedicated for Open Call 3. Those activities can be interconnected in each other. What is important that they are for students, that they include students, but also that they compose a project on a topics which I mentioned previously. While we are going to prepare your application, it is important to focus on the topic, on the activities, but also I would like to bring your attention to the evaluation criteria. Because this is a kind of a guidance for you how to prepare well your application and what actually will be evaluated by our external evaluators during the evaluation phase. So we have set up three main criteria to ease the process: relevance, impact, and methodology. And within each criterion, the evaluators are going to check each proposal, whether it fulfill the requirements, whether the description is answering the question posed in the application form, and whether it answer those questions which are here. So, for example, when we go through the criterion one, which is relevance, so the evaluators, what is important actually, not only for evaluators are going to see, but for you while preparing your application, focus on the mission ocean objectives and how your proposal is contributing to increase ocean and water literacy. How European dimension is going to brought up to the project. So whether you're going to cooperate with other schools or you're going to do the twinning activities with other European schools. Also, commitment to the Climate Pact pledge. So also consider it that this is relevant thing, that we would like to see that the activities are also related to the Climate Pact, that they somehow fulfill the obligations or the recommendation of the Climate Pact as well. The second criterion is the impact of the proposal. So evaluators will assess the character, whether it is innovative, whether your activities are somehow new for the students, and whether those activities they have a clear output. So important is to provide the activities, their description. You have a dedicated space in the proposal for it, but also focus on the clear output. How many students are going to take part in activities? Why those activities are important for the school, for the environment, for the stakeholders or environment of the school. And also clearly state what are the results of each funded activity. Also focus on open schooling methodology, but also on engagement of the, let's say, the local stakeholders and the local community, such as sometimes it might be a different teachers, but also it can be parents, it can be local NGO, which may help you with implementation of the activities. And also we would like to see how the project will be promoted, because we still are talking about the European money. So we would like to, or we are obliged, and as well, if your project will be selected, there is an obligation in subgrant agreement to promote the project. So we would like to already know how the project will be promoted, whether you are going to post it on the social media of the school, whether you have this capacity or not. But somehow at the end, it is crucial to also prepare a strategy for the visibility of the activities. The last but not least criterion is dedicated to the methodology. So in the proposal, there's also a dedicated question how to involve the students, how they are going to be involved in those activities, whether it will be one classroom or maybe there will be other classrooms as well, or maybe other school staff. What is the team which is going to guide the proper implementation of the project, and whether the costs, we are speaking about the costs which can be up to 10,000 euro, how they are going to be reflected in the activities and in the team involved within the implementation of the project. So try to find the balance between, for example, sometimes it is necessary to buy some equipment. That's fine. You can still dedicate some budget in the other costs to dedicate it for the equipment, but find the right balance between the team, between the activities and other costs related to the project implementation. Sometimes also when it's connected also to the Climate Pact pledge, maybe sometimes it is relevant to choose the rational travel by train, by bus, instead of traveling by plane. So let's say, I would say those criteria also connected to each other. So bear in mind that while you are going to prepare your application, focus on it that the application is coherent through the whole application and it answers the relevant questions posed in each section of the application. Who can apply? We haven't changed, or we have the same rules since the very beginning, since the open call 1. So our calls are dedicated to elementary and secondary schools, up to the regulation ESCAT level 3. So you can also, there is a link in the guidelines which will lead you to the document, because we have a different countries, different systems. So we would like to focus on those two kind of type of schools. Each school shall be legally registered and established in the European Union or Horizon Europe associated countries. So we are also speaking about the countries beyond the European Union. And we already I think we have a lot of examples within the Open Call 1 and 2 where the schools has been funded over the European Union as well. Also, the criterion is, which is important, is that the school should be located in one of 5 targeted regions. So in Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Rhine, and Danube River. And in this call, we would like to mostly encourage the schools from Baltic Sea, Rhine, and Danube River to apply. As we would like to see also a nice representation of the projects within those areas, but other regions are also welcome to apply. If you need more details on eligibility, please go to the Shore Open Call 3 guidelines for applicants, where you can see detailed information about the eligibility. Also, in terms of eligibility, the schools which apply to Shore should be already accredited members to the European Network of Blue Schools. So you can apply as a member, and actually you can renew if you need to your accreditation through the implementation of the project, or if the school is not within the network, it can become a member. But what is important here is that by the end of the project, the school will at least submit the application to the European Network of Blue Schools. It is important to remember that we have several deadlines to apply for European Network of Blue Schools. So I believe the one approaching will be in the end of 2025, if I'm not mistaken, but we can check it afterwards. Okay. Also, schools should be open for collaboration with other Blue schools from the network or those aspiring. So, in the application, there is a dedicated question about the collaboration or twinning activities of during the implementation of the project. Also, as I mentioned already, we spoke about the Climate Pact Pledge, which is an important part of evaluation. So, Open Call is open to schools whose proposal includes a commitment to the European Climate Pact Pledge, which leads to the decarbonization or at least to carbon neutrality of the project and school activities. So there is also a dedicated section to describe the impact of the project on the environment. And if you need any additional info about the European Climate Pact Pledge, in the presentation you will find a dedicated link, which will lead you to the details of the European Climate Pact. So, in terms of eligibility, to wrap up, the Shore team will filter non-eligible proposals after we close the call. So, not only it is important that the applicant, which is school, primary or secondary school, according to the rules, but also if your school has received already a funding through our sister projects, ProBlue and Blue Lights S, you cannot receive the funding from Shore. This is the rule which has been set up at the beginning. So we are going to carefully check with our sister project whether applying school can receive the funding from Shore and has not been ranked and funded in ProBlue or Blue Light S. Remember to select at least one topic and subtopic. Remember about the budget, which should not exceed the 10,000 euro. And also remember to submit the application via the F6S platform on time. And also please be mindful that the proposal should be also written in English. We are not going to check the quality of English. This is not important for us. This is the common language for us in Shore and also for the evaluators. So we need to provide them the proposals written in English. How and where can you apply? As I mentioned it for several times, I will guide you soon with the F6S platform. But before you start, before you open the application or before you start thinking about the proposal, please open the Shore Open Call 3 guidelines, where you can find the full terms and conditions of the call, and read it carefully, because I will obviously we are going to share with the presentation with you, where you have all the information collected here. But in the guidelines, you will find many, many more important news about the application, about the eligibility, about the evaluation and selection process. Afterwards, we would like to encourage you to create a profile on F6S, where we have the submission platform. So before you start, you will be welcomed to the platform to set up an account. And the open call and our submission system allows single applicants, individual representatives of the school applying for the SHORE program. When you will be asked for additional information, and then you will be guided through the proposal. Step number 3 is to complete your online application form, which has sections: individual info, school info, proposal info, eligibility, proposal description, ethics and security. So the proposal has been created in a way to guide you through the application process. So you will be guided through the basic information about the schools, about the proposal as well. What is the acronym? What is the title of the proposal? What is actually a brief summary? Then we would like to see whether you align with the eligibility criteria, such as whether the school is primary or secondary school, whether you are from one of the target regions, or whether you are already a member or not from the European network of the Blue Schools. I believe that all questions are mandatory to answer. So if you don't provide the answer, you would not be able to submit your applications. Also, please read carefully what is written on the submission system, because the proposal has been created in a way to support you in preparation of your answers for each question. So you will all find additional instructions in the portal and the question which are going to guide you while preparing your answer for each question. After you're done, don't forget to click the apply button, the blue button, because it will allow us to see your application that is completed and submitted on time. There is more to read except the guidelines, which are the most important document, but also I would recommend you to make a step further and to read also the sub-grant agreement, which is a grant agreement which is going to be signed by the SHORE project coordinator with selected Blue schools. There are a lot of important information about the implementation of the grant. So also just not to be, I would say, surprised that something was not, let's say, mentioned. It's better to read the sub-grant agreement before you sign it, so we can also relate or answer your questions which you may have to this document. If you need more support from Shore partners, we are all actually available for you. Get in touch with the country hubs. The country hubs, they also run their individual meetings. They run the meetings in the national languages, so you can always join the meeting to find out more in your national language about the Shore Open Call 3 and the application process, and also about the proposal. You can connect with the Shore country hubs via shoreproject.eu/country hubs, the main Shore project website, but also you can check our events, which are also posted on the Shore project website. This webinar is to guide you through the application process, but we also plan another events not only on the shore level on the project, but also within the national country hubs with our national partners. So there is also will be a follow-up about the Open Call 3. We also would love to show you some success stories in June, so stay tuned to the Shore website as we are in progress in preparation of the next upcoming webinar to showcase the great examples of funded schools already within the Shore Open Call 1 and 2. Maybe it will be an inspiration for you to prepare your application, and maybe you will have a chance also as well to ask your questions, how they prepare their application, how they apply. So maybe it will be also helpful for you to prepare and submit your application. More info can be found on the Shore project website. We also are available through the open call email and also via the F6S platform, where you have also a page where you can post your question regarding the open call. But also, I would like to encourage you to go to the Shore project website, where under the tab Open Call 3, you can read the frequently asked questions, and maybe you already find the answer to your question there. Okay, I think I guided you all through the Open Call 3 and through the Shore project as well. I will stop my presentation now and would like to encourage you to ask the questions. I'm here to answer any questions you may have regarding the Open Call 3. I'll check the chat. I don't see any questions on chat. So either you can raise your hand or you can put the question on the chat or Q&A part as well. No questions? Please, this is the time for you. So I would like to encourage you to ask the questions. But in the meantime, you can think about the questions. We still have 20 more minutes for this webinar. But I would like to maybe show you the proposal. I will make this one, so maybe it will be also easier for you to see what we are expecting. This is a PDF, which is similar to the F6S platform, but I would like to show you what is important. So first of all, the individual info is the individual info of the person who is going to submit the application. We have a section dedicated to the school, so the full name, street, website, the contact point, the person who is going to submit the application, but also it is important for us to know who can we contact during the eligibility or evaluation of sending the results. So be also mindful on putting the valid email of the contact person. Proposal acronym, title, and the summary. And then the section dedicated to the eligibility. You will have a list of the countries which are connected to the regions of the 5 main regions of the shore. So you can easily choose your country and then connect to the region. So as you can see, for example, for Ukraine, we have 2 options. It can be either a Black Sea area or Danube River area. The same for Montenegro, but also, for example, for Austria, we have Danube River area, but also Rhine River area. And afterwards, you will be guided through each um, main criterion of your proposal. So after selecting the topic and the subtopic, accreditation, you will start answering the questions for each section. So, how the project activities contribute to increase the ocean literacy and how they connect to the mission ocean objectives. So, we also provided important instructions to read and dedicated documents which might be relevant to answer the question. As I said, the cooperation or twinning activities with other blue schools, if with any, also how the European Climate Pact pledge values will be supported by the project, the section dedicated to the impact, how the local stakeholders will be engaged in the activities, so please read carefully the instruction. Make sure to specify the key actors involved in the project implementation. Mention specific local stakeholders, their role in the project implementation, and how you're going to actually reach them. How and what is innovative within the funded activities, how the project will be promoted in the section dedicated to the methodology. So you can choose already predefined activities. Afterwards, there will be a section dedicated to the description of those activities, and information about the students will be involved in the project. Some words about the interlinked learning activities. So make sure that you describe how the project activities will provide experience, educational experience, which link different subjects and allow students to apply their knowledge in the practical scenarios. We have also a question related to migrants or Ukraine, whether you plan to involve them as well. And a very important question, which is the project cost. So please be mindful in the instruction, you can find detailed information about the planning of your budget. So the costs which you can include are the personal costs, the travel costs, and other costs, which may actually be dedicated to the dissemination and communication of the project, so the promotion strategy, tickets, or any other equipment which might be needed for implementation of the project. Please also be mindful that subcontracting costs are not allowed. So you cannot actually subcontract part of the implementation of the activities to another entity. This is just about that we would like to transfer the funds only to the schools, not to any interconnected organization. Also, some words about the team and the competences and experience of the team, and the table dedicated to ethics and security. And afterwards, you have some questions dedicated to how you find out about the call. So we also see whether we are successful in spreading the news about the open call. And afterwards, you will have a blue button to submit your application. Okay, I see there are some questions. Okay, I see that only the Q&A session is open, so you can write or you can provide the question via the Q&A part. Okay, I will start answering them. How can we calculate the budget? What are the eligible costs? So I believe I just mentioned what are the eligible costs, the personal cost, the travel cost, and other expenses. So the budget should be calculated taking into consideration what kind of activities will be implemented during the project lifespan, but also who is going to lead those activities as well. There's a question, do you think the mobility activity is good for primary schools in short projects? Well, I would say there's not good or bad. There's no good or bad activity. I think the activity should be related to the environment, to the school, to the pupils, to the students. So definitely, you still can do mobility activity, but also please be mindful uh, how it will, let's say, will be implemented, taking into consideration the surroundings, I would say. Okay. Do we need a foreign partner to apply for the shore open call? And if so, does the partner have to be from the same region? You don't need to have a foreign partner to apply for the shore open call. So the call is dedicated to the single entity. So you apply as a single school, but at the same time, for example, if you would like to do the twinning activities with another partner, with another school, it doesn't have to be from the same region. Or would you like to do any cooperation with a different school? You can both apply to the call as a individual schools. Okay. Is there a limit for words in the answers? Yes, there is a limit. I believe it's right now about 3,000 characters. It has been increased from the previous call. So also those schools which are going to reapply, you will have a chance to elaborate your questions. Can you provide more about the budget issues like reference materials? So first of all, let me just get back to the budget. So we believe that, um, so as I mentioned, let me start from the beginning. So we can have the personal costs, we can have the travel costs, but also we can have the other costs. So it is important for you to know that, okay, you have a 10,000 euro budget for the project. So this is your maximum. And if you're going to implement several different activities, you can also, this budget should be related to those activities and to the students which are going to take part in those activities. So for example, in the travel costs, you can only not only include the travel costs for the train, for the bus, or whatever it is needed for the accommodation, but also you can include in the other cost category tickets, which I think this is also important to know that if you're taking the class to the for a museum trip, you can sponsor the tickets for the class within the other costs. So if you have any additional questions about the budget, please write them down so I can elaborate more and provide you with more details. Does the project need to be signed by the manager of the school? Not at the stage of the application. We believe that the application can be submitted by the, as we call it, the contact person from the school, but we don't check how this person is connected to the school. This is up to you who is going to be who is going to lead this project, this process. The manager of the school or the director will need to sign the sub-grant agreement, which is the step after the selection. If your school is going to be selected for funding, then the school will be contacted by Shore Project Coordinator, which is the Yildiz Technical University, and the sub-grant agreement will have to be signed by the representative, the main representative of the school. Can we have trips abroad? It's not forbidden, okay, but be mindful also when traveling abroad on the climate pact pledge, because also on the carbon neutrality, what will be the best option for you to travel abroad, whether this is close or whether we would like to travel uh, further. How many teachers can be involved in the project? There is no limit, there is no minimum number. Can we write approximate costs as at the time of writing the application, it's difficult to have exact costs. Yes, you can write the approximate costs, just also think about to be reasonable uh, about the costs. So we know that the prices may change. They may change from the while you are going to apply, which is June, and you are going to start your project in October and finish it in March. So we know that there's different circumstances and the costs are changing, the price are changing. So yes, you can write the approximate cost. You don't have to be exact, but also, as I said, take into consideration that there is a limit, 10,000 euro, and the costs are going to be also evaluated by external evaluators. Do we need the representative school to sign the project? At the part of the application, you don't need to sign anything, and it's up to the school how this process is going to be led. It can be a school teacher, it can be any person which is related to the school, maybe assigned by the school to represent the school in the process of application. And at the time of the submission of the application, we don't require from the school to sign anything, but also be mindful that the signature process, it is important for the sub-grant agreement. So if the school is going to be selected, then papers should be signed by the representative of the school. Okay. Any more questions? Please feel free to ask. We still have a couple of minutes to answer the questions. If you, I'll just copy paste on chat the link to the documentation. So you will find relevant information such as guidelines, proposal, subgrant agreement, and also other related information. If you need more info about guidelines or anything which is related to implementation of the project, this is this email, open call at shoreproject.eu. But also on the F6S platform, there is a discussion page which plays a very important role during the application process, because this is the place where actually you can look for schools which you may have, with which one you would like to cooperate during the implementation of the project. So you can always, let's say, post your offer that you're looking for the school, but also on the F6S platform, this discussion page, you can openly ask any questions you may have regarding the open call. And we would like to encourage you to submit your questions right there, so it will be transparent for any applicant to know uh, what is the answer. We have more questions, so let me answer them. Students can be from different classes. It's up to you. It can be from the different classes. You can focus on one single class. There is no limit how many students can take part within the project implementation. There is a limit for activities, or there is a minimum activities which should be considered. So you cannot go below 3 activities different. So we would like to see a real impact through the 6 months of implementation of the project, minimum 3 different activities. And also, while taking into consideration how many students, how many activities, please be mindful of the budget and actually propose the activities with a reasonable budget with the costs, so evaluators will have no doubts that your project is okay to be funded. Let me. Do we have to provide the number and the names of the students involved from the beginning? You don't need to provide the name of the student, names of the students. We don't want to see those data. This is not necessary, but you need to provide the number of students for each activity. There is a detailed instruction for this in the section methodology, which will guide you through the description of selected activities. Can we have also cultural activities related to the topic, such as drama, dance, and music, which we have impact on the community? Well, I would say if it fits within pre-described, predefined activities, then yes. It is just to you start from the choosing the activities which are predefined. So if your, let's say, dance class or the dance motive will fit into the description of the activity, yes, it can be also included. Mhm. Okay. I'm happy that we have a lot of nice questions. I can still answer two or three questions for you, so don't hesitate and just take this opportunity and put your question in the chat. Otherwise, the other option will be also the F6S discussion page, where you can always post the questions, but take the advantage of the meeting right now. We have 5 more minutes to finish the webinar. Okay. Okay. Last minute. I don't see any new questions, so please, I would say last minutes to for this opportunity to ask a question. If not, we will finish soon. I would say 1, 2, 3. Okay, last opportunity. If not, please connect. Please go through the guidelines. I think this is the most important thing. One more time, read the guidelines, connect to the country hubs, or connect to OpenCall at shoreproject.eu, and we are going to provide you with the answer. You can always also ask the question via the F6S platform. There's a question, the last one. Can we ask an NGO to cooperate? Yes, you may, but the NGO cannot be funded via the grant. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. Uh, I hope you are full of energy right now to start your application process. Don't hesitate, it is not difficult. I hope we set it up to be very easy for you, and the application process and the instructions will guide you. So, fingers crossed for your application and also for your positive results. For more information, please stay tuned and follow our website, but also the social media accounts of Shore. Thank you very much for joining today. Have a good day.